So we get asked many times, what is the process for the full design and build phase in doing a project like this if the customer doesn't have any previous design? So everything starts from however the inquiry comes across. So we sometimes get inquiries on our website or through our marketing channels. And then the very first point of contact is the actual office operations manager, who will then gather some basic details. And then the next step will be to book in a briefing call with me personally. Now, if you don't have any plans, during the briefing call, over the phone, we will go through first on a few requirements, understanding a tiny bit more about the project. Then during the briefing call, we will schedule a free site visit, which is a full-on design session where I come on site personally, meet you at the property, bring our laser measuring tools, and we actually start a design phase on your specific project and requirements, whereby we start by measuring up the area, sit down on a table, and actually go through some preliminary proposals and understand and start putting into actual paper the actual design that you're currently considering. Now, during that free site visit, we will first of all have these actual sketch drawings, which is to scale and based on the square meterage of the actual project. So on that premise, we will be able to provide an architectural quotation on site so that you can start understanding the overall process if you need to go through planning, the building regs, and all of the architectural process itself. The quotation will be provided on site. But on top of that, since we're a construction and design and build company, based on the square meterage of the sketches that we take on site, we will be able to begin providing some preliminary estimates and some ballpark figures. Now, should everything be clear at that point, then we would begin the whole design phase. So then everything starts from an actual full measure survey, which is part of the stage one, assuming that the project will need planning. So in that premise, if you're doing a 5 meters extension that does require some element of application to the council, that's what we call stage one, which is where we do the measure survey, draw all the existing plans and elevations and sections of the property. And then at that point, we will start our design phase, working together, going through more in detail on the options. And then once we have agreed on a design that you're comfortable in going through planning, we will then refine the ballpark estimates that we provided at the beginning based on the actual drawings. Now, once the planning is submitted, then we would then start preparing for the second phase, which is phase two, which is the technical phase, where we start exploring more about the way that we would specify the build to come together. So specification of the walls, the foundations, the roofs. And then in phase two is when we start coordinating with other consultants and other companies, such as the structural engineers, the party wall, to start submitting the notices, so that by the time the planning is approved, then you would have already all your paperwork technically ready to start on site. So the stage one and stage two, and then stage three is where we, if we perform only as architects, for instance, if you do proceed with another builder, we can follow through on the project as part of stage three. But ideally, if you proceed with ADL design and build for the build, then stage three would and stage two would both become free of charge and part of the main contract. So I'm here in one of our current projects at 61 Skinner Hill that we are just about to hand over. We have some bits of work remaining to do outdoor and in other areas of the room, but the actual extension is finished. So if you follow me, you can see exactly how we developed this project, which was a side extension that picked up on the kitchen, a rear extension that you could see with the whole bifolds, etc. With the corner feature, we have a full video actually walkthrough of this specific project. However, I just wanted to touch base on this specific video on how does the architectural service work in case you would want to schedule a meeting with us so that you have a bit more information.